house and the whole lot. Basically, we've sold our freedom once we are in this field.
So let's be specific. What would you say are some of the challenges you have faced or are facing, and how have you been able to overcome them?
So with workers, their attitude, and probably the main issue with how do you call it, setting up the business is the access to finance, especially when you're starting from scratch. I mean, there is no one to support, especially when you have an idea. Probably you're not the only person who has an idea. A lot of people have ideas, but now how to even put your ideas to people to also invest in you is really a problem. And basically that's the main first issue.
But again, I have spoken to some people like the McDans and Co. You know, like Evans Nunu and Co. And they will say that you don't have necessarily to look for funding, you know, resource in terms of money to be able to start. But if you have the right network of people, if you have the right character, you know, you should be able to, you know, sail through.
Okay, so I also believe that without money, you don't think of the right network. That is one thing. Because before you even get into the market, you need money. Even moving around up and down, even marketing involves money. Now, even workers are even complaining about transportation, and I mean, if you don't have money, I'm not necessarily saying that you need a huge capital to start a business, but you need something to move up and down.
Are the banks not helping?
Banks not helping, no. Banks only help when you get to a certain point, but a startup is quite difficult, especially when you have no experience and it's actually a new pitch or a new venture that you're trying to. Yes. Maybe it worked for you when it worked for you, but in the figures of the banks and other stuff, it's not working for them because they are seeing millions and other stuff. And
Nana, is your story different?
To some extent, it's quite similar, but I had a tougher start. It's because I didn't start from scratch. We purchased the business. It was an existing business, and I think it belonged to a couple. They had issues, and you know how divorce they go sometimes. So we purchased the business from the couple. Now we inherited a lot of challenges.
So, but people are of the view that, listen, it comes with liabilities and benefits as well.
Exactly. So we saw some of them, but there were others who were hidden. For instance, the SNIT came. They took us to court.
In terms of paying SNITs for the workers?
Yes.
Okay, contributions.
So the business, when the business existed, they didn't fulfill all those obligations at some point because they actually shut down because of the differences the couple had. It shut down for a while. So those arrears were still existing when I took over. And because we were not too experienced. So if I say I'm not alone. I have a couple of guys who...
A partnership of sorts,
yes, we rallied ourselves together and started this thing because I couldn't have started alone because of the finances involved. So we all went into the business together. So we had these challenges very early. SNIT came, ECG came, other institutions all came at us, and we had to handle them. Even though we didn't have much money in hand, we had to handle them, and you know how our institutions, they drag us. So I went to court with some of these institutions. They took us to court and had to stay in court, thanks to some of our friends who were legal practitioners who sometimes had to lend us their service and we pay them later, and you know, some of them had to do some cases for us for free and all those things. So it was a very difficult start before, you know, we saw the clear vision in the road ahead. And at a point we had a smooth sail, but you know, these things, they come and go. These challenges come and go. You wake up and unexpectedly you are called that there is an issue, and you know, sometimes these issues will bring you down for quite a while. So it's a very tough journey, but sometimes when you see your things moving as planned, you are happy until the next challenge also sets in. So that's how it's been roller coaster sort of journey.
Now, having said that, I don't know about the other challenges, because I know, again, the ECG bit, for example, I had to come in along the line.
Yes,
I remember that vividly.
Yes. So through David, we got flexible means of payments. And because David had some people in there, we could speak to them and assure them, give them flexible means which we could repay them, and that was sorted. But still, some issues keep coming.
No, I understand. But one other thing, the other thing that I want to find out from you has to do with the marketing bit, sustaining the business, managing the business, making sure that, well, even if you don't make profits, you don't make losses as well. Now, for you, I know what you're into. I don't know whether you want to share it, but what I want to know is market available? Are you able to sell? Because oftentimes you hear people say that you're entirely. For you, Aaron, I know again that you are also into rendering services. Would you say that a lot of Ghanaians are willing? Let me be blunt here. Okay. So, Aaron, you're into cleaning services. Mm-hmm. Am I right?
Yeah.
That's what you're
into.
Maintenance. So you clean and maintain stuff for offices, domestic work, and all that. You're into
water production
and all that. Let's talk about availability of people who need your services. Are you able to sell your water? I know that you have targets for yourself every day to sell. Are you able to sell that amount of water every day? I know that you have people you want to, Aaron, for example, people you want to clean their homes and do the maintenance for them. Mm-hmm. Do you have enough clients? Let's talk about availability of customers.
So for sachet water production, the business, the market is there. On daily basis, we all need water to survive. So there's a huge market out there, and fortunately for some of us, we took over an existing business, and it was a franchise. So it was operating under a certain brand name or brand image. So we maintained all of these things. So they had a base clients already, people they were selling to already. So we took over, we inherited all those customers and started so well. So we also had some of their staff moving to work with us. They listened to our proposal, and some of them thought it was good. And since they knew the market already and they had their customer base already, if we are getting them the means of transportation, the vehicles that supplies these the products, if we are getting all of them back on the road, they thought that they could work with us. So we inherited those ones as well. So that is how that side smoothing the path for us. So we were okay with that aspect. So that is how we started the journey, and that is how the market has been. But unfortunately, it's water, and I can say water is seasonal product. When you get into the rainy season, obviously, the intake of water is not as the dry season. So if we are a very good business person, you plan ahead. You know that in this period, you have issues. So the best thing to do is to save some of the money that you earn in the dry season when your products are fast moving. You save some of the money to support your expenditure in the rainy season, because I wouldn't want to shut down in the rainy season and come back in the dry season, because if you shut down, obviously some people will move into the market and start working with some of the people that your clients.
The gap will be filled.
The gap will be filled, and some people will develop taste for other products and would not want to come back to you. So what I'm doing now is to save money, save a lot to support my expenditure, because anything can happen. You can have a vehicle,
mechanical problems come
exactly, and sometimes
maintain of these vehicles come in.
They also run into accidents. I've had about 2 circumstances, and I had to spend a lot to get these vehicles back on the road. So if this should happen in the rainy season,
you're in trouble.
Obviously, if you don't have reserves, you'll be in trouble.
Michael also joins us. Michael Bempa is with Umami Foods, and they have